So today what we're going to do is we're going to start a new house, a new file, and we're going to go to create. We're going to choose decimal meters for today, decimal meters. So that will be the template. That means that we are using meters for what we're going to create. So where I'm going to go to scenes, and I'm going to choose standard view, top view. So now I am looking from the top. I'm going to choose a rectangle, and I'm going to make a rectangle that is I'm going to stop it there, and I'm going to immediately type the dimensions, which are going to be 10 meters, comma 8 meters. So that's going to be the size of a house that we're going to be working on today. 10 meters by 8 meters. So this is 10 and this is 8. On the red axis is 10 meters, and on the green axis is 8 meters. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an isometric view. So I go to scenes and I select isometric. So basically I have the initial layout for the house. Now I'm going to select the push-pull tool or extrusion tool. I hover on top of the face of the shape that I just created, and I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to type 3 meters. So that's going to be the size of this basic house, small house that we're going to be working on. Now I am going to get my line tool. Now remember that the line tool is going to magnetically find the midpoint, and that's what I actually want. I want to make a line from this midpoint to the other midpoint. So I click here, I let the mouse go, and I extend it. And now one way to know that you're making a straight line is if you notice the line is red. That means that it's on this red axis. If it wouldn't be straight, it would be a different color. Now if I go straight on this direction, it's going to be green. That means that it would be on the green axis. But I'm just going to make sure that it goes to the midpoint, from midpoint to midpoint, and I click there to finish the line. Now that's going to be my roof. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my selection tool or press space. Now I'm going to select this line that we just made, and I am going to use this tool now, the move tool. So the move tool, I'm going to place myself here on this line, and I'm going to pull up. Now I want to make sure that I'm pulling up on the blue axis. Now if you can notice, it says on the blue axis on my cursor. If for some reason I'm doing this, you're going to notice that it's not on the blue axis, it's on anything else but not the blue axis. So if I want to constrain it to an axis, in this case the blue axis, on my keyboard I'm going to press once the up key, the up arrow, and that's going to constrain it. Even if I try to move it in a different direction, it's going to constrain it to be only on the blue axis. So then I'm going to click again, and the height that I'm going to make this first part is going to be 4 meters. I type 4 meters, and I have that. So very basically, this is the first house that I have made. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to orbit. I want to see this part of the house. So I'm going to go with the orbit tool. I'm going to place myself right there. I can zoom in. Now, if you're using your trackpad or a mouse, it doesn't matter. The functions are very similar. With your trackpad, with 2 fingers, you can do this, or you can pinch in or out to zoom in or out. We also have the zoom tool if you want to use that one. We have a zoom tool here. Zoom to extend, zoom window. So depending on what we want to use. Okay, so I have this view on this side of the house. I'm going to select the tool, find the tool that is called offset. The offset tool looks like, where is it? Oh, here's the offset tool, I'm sorry. Here's the offset tool, or in my keyboard, the shortcut is F. So that's going to give me the offset tool. So I select the offset tool, and notice that when I hover on top of any of the edges, this happens. Do you see how the face changes and it gets those dots? So I'm going to click there on one edge, and then I'm going to move my cursor in. Notice how it copies the outline of the shape that I have there. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it for I'm going to make it for 10 centimeters. So I type 10 cm, which is the abbreviation for centimeters. If I don't type cm, it might make it 10 meters. So make sure that you use the units. 10 centimeters and press enter. So now I have this. Okay, now here, for this part, what we have to do, here is we can extend. I want to extend this line. I don't want to use this line here. I want to extend this line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to take my pencil tool, and notice I'm going to zoom in a lot so you can see what happens. So if I click there in the end point where these two lines join, and I move down, notice what color is the line. It's magenta or light purple. So notice that I do that. If I move it, it's not going to be magenta. So I have to, when it's magenta, it means that it's extending this line. This line is being extended. So make sure that it's magenta and you reach the edge. Then you click. Then you can click there. So now what I did is I extended this line. So with that, I can get my selection tool, select this line, and I can delete it now because I have this line that's going to close that shape. I do the same here on the other side. I do the same with the line tool. I go from the end point and make sure that it's magenta and you go all the way to the edge. I click, and now I can select this line. Make sure you select the line, not the face. Select the line. When it's blue, it means that it's selected, and now I can press delete on my keyboard and that deletes it. So now I have those lines like that. Remember that we made a third line down here, so I must delete that line as well. So I'm going to select that line and delete it. What I am doing right now is I'm making the roof. I'm going to orbit a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this in for 10 centimeters. Should we do 10 or maybe 15? What do you guys think? Okay, let's do 10 for now. I'm going to push it for 10 centimeters. I do the same that I did here on the other end of the house. So I can either orbit and place myself there, or I can go to scenes and find which elevation is that. Is it the front or the right or the left? It's the left, right? So I go to the left elevation, or I orbit here, and I'm going to repeat the same process that I did before. I'm going to offset for 10 centimeters. I type 10 centimeters and I press enter. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to extend this line from the end point, make sure it's magenta, to the edge. I do the same on the other end to the edge, and now I can delete this line, actually the 3 lines. So I can do it all at once. If I select this line, then I press and hold shift on my keyboard, I can add another selection. So I add that second line, and if I don't let go shift, notice how my cursor now has a plus or a minus. I can select this third line. So now I have all of them selected, and I press on my keyboard delete. So I deleted those lines. I slightly orbit. So I like to orbit because that way I have a view and I can do the depth. So I can with my extrusion or push pull tool, I'm going to push in for 10 centimeters again, and I have that. Perfect. So that's our first house. What do you guys think? We have the first house, and this, you will save it as house 1. Now remember that we can, in order to make this not easy to change, I'm going to triple click. So not double click, not 1, not 2, but 3 clicks. 3 fast clicks together, 1, 2, 3. That selects everything that I'm touching. So it selects anything that is viewable and what's not viewable. So everything is selected on this object that I'm working on. Then I right click and I make it, okay. And I right click and I make it a group. So now this is a group. Now it's protected a little bit from me making accidental changes. Another thing that I can do that makes it easier now that it's a group is I don't know if you've noticed that now it's not on the origin, the house, because I extruded it a little bit. So what I can do is I can select the house, I can select my move tool, and from this corner I can move it to the origin. So now the house will be on the origin. Or if I need room because I'm going to make another house or something, I can select the move tool again. I select one point and I move it on the red axis, for example, and then I type how much do I want to move it. Let's suppose I want to move it 15 meters. So I type 15 meters before I click or do anything, and now it's moved from here where it was 15 meters over here. So that's the first part for this house. Then you're going to follow the video, the part 2 house. You're going to follow that video. This house, we're going to save it. We're going to save this house as my name in my drive, right? And I'm going to save it with my name, Alex, house 1. You will save it with your name, of course. Save it, and that way I can download the SKP file and the STL file. I need both files to be uploaded. So I download the SKP file, then I go back and I download the STL file. They're in my downloads, and now I can upload that to Schoology. so I can grade you. Now remember that everything here is traceable, so you can see who did it. You can trace it by IP address or by timestamps and what time it was done, if names were changed or not. This is a very interesting software. I really like it. Okay, so follow the second video now.